Hello YouTube, this is Western Kansas Prepper here, and I am doing a little video on a show that came on Nat Geo. They replay it every once in a while lately, called Training for the Apocalypse. And I wasn't, I don't know, I hadn't seen this show being scheduled or on the on my TV guide until a subscriber of mine, Ben's Magnolia, however you say that, Ben, he asked me to look at this show and said that I guess he likes my reviews and wanted to have me review this show and tell him what I thought of it. So basically I think this show should not be called Training for the Apocalypse. It should be called Nat Geo had leftover footage from making Doomsday Preppers, and we had some people that were too stupid or crazy to make out as Doomsday Preppers, and we wanted to just run with that. We wanted to make a show. We should have just called it Aren't These Preppers Effing Stupid? That's what they should call their show. Because that's essentially what this is. It's one of these producers from Nat Geo just went wild and said, can you find the stupidest people possible to put on this show? And I think that part of it is actually faked, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. Which I'm not some kind of a giant conspiracy theorist, but I'll show you what I mean. So, first they go with this guy who calls himself the Parowan Prophet, and he seems like an old kook. I don't know if I have any pictures of him or not. Oh, that's not him. That's a different guy. This is the Parowan Prophet's map. He's an older guy. Let me look him up real quick and see if I can just get him. Let's see. Hang on. Parowan Prophet. Here he is. Okay, Parowan Prophet. So he's got his own website here, and I don't know. It doesn't have pictures of him. I thought maybe it would. That's the guy. Okay, it's this guy right here. He's this old guy. He sits around with his family, and basically he predicts every year that the world's going to end. So every year he's got a new prediction. The world's going to end this year. And then the kids are like, well, Grandpa, didn't you say that last year? He goes, yeah, I said it last year, but this year it's going to be true. I guess he's been doing this for like 15 years. So needless to say, at this point, no one really cares what he has to say or believes him. And it is what it is. He's very afraid of nuclear war or nuclear fallout. This is a map he's got, which appears to me to be very useless, of his predictions of nuclear problems. I don't think I've ever seen any nuclear fallout map that looks like this, with very isolated dots of affection, affecting the population. I mean, if a nuke hits, this little spot in Missouri, it ain't going to just stop there. I mean, it's going to be a lot bigger area. I don't know why it's big here, but it ain't big here. Like maybe it's got hit by 10 nukes. I don't know. But that's not a that is not a good fallout map in my opinion. Needless to say. But he quotes some Bible verses that he cut and pasted together that he believes support his crazy end of the world views. So anyway, then this guy I showed you here, they show him. This is a guy who thinks he has a lot of survival tactics, I guess, and he does LSD and other drugs. So, he talks about how doing DMT and how that helps him to think. So there's another guy who, again, not only are preppers crazy and who make these crazy predictions that never come true, but they also do these dangerous drugs. So there's another reason that these preppers are. So that's another reason why these preppers are dangerous. So then we also go to this is the Parowan Prophet's old survival shelter. They point out it's collapsed and is now useless. There's some old products in there that all rotted. So they also say all you preppers are wasting your money on time in shelters because it'll wind up like Parowan Prophets. So that's their lesson, I guess. And then there's this guy with his kids. Who he's trying to train them to use these small .22 caliber rifles on some bottles and stuff that he has them like 5 feet away, and I guess he's trying to show that he's not really training them to do very much. I don't know. Then there's this guy, who they don't really go into that much depth on, but he's wears this mask. They modulate his voice so it's all deep and I'm talking anonymously, that kind of thing. And so he says he's anonymous. I don't think this guy's real. I think this is actually like a producer of the show or something, and this is their caricature of what they think preppers are like. And here's why I say that. So later in the show, they have this guy showing him field stripping, or trying to reassemble a field strip weapon. And he's got, I can't tell, maybe it's a Ruger SR9. Some of you gun guys know better than I would what that is. It's not my, I can't tell what it is. It's looks like a standard semi-auto 9mm, my guess. Anyway, but he starts trying to put it together, and then he can't do it, and he looks like an idiot. And oh my God, what did I do? I couldn't put my gun back together right. I can do this, I swear, if I'm not on camera. Okay, so here's my little tell for the show. This guy he literally takes this slide, if you watch the video, and he puts it just directly on the frame here and tries to push it back. He goes, it won't fit, it won't go. Now, here's the problem. If you look right there, right here, you'll see this is the coil spring and the recoil mechanism right there. Now, I own several handguns, and most of them have, if they're semi-auto, you're probably going to have that feature. I've never seen any of them, period, where you would put the recoil spring and guide rod in your frame before you try to slide your slide on top of the frame. That's retarded. Nobody would ever do that. You put the recoil spring and the guide rod behind the barrel that's in the slide, you assemble that, then you put it on your frame. Unless you're a complete and total effing moron who's never seen a gun or never taken one apart and put one together, nobody does this. Nobody. So that's why I think this is fake. This guy is fake. He's not really a prepper. He's just trying to make fun of preppers. It's BS. This is fake. Nobody is that stupid about putting their gun back together. That was just designed to... And they probably thought, oh, we'll just make it look like he's not putting his gun back together. No one will ever look to see, why it was his gun wouldn't go back together. Or they won't figure that. I mean, that's what they did to make it look like it wouldn't go back together. So, anyway, that's fake. This show was fake. It's BS. This show is way worse than Doomsday Preppers. There's things that I think you can learn from Doomsday Preppers, and things that are interesting about the show. There are problems. That's why I started reviewing it in the first place. There are a lot of things you can learn from it. A lot of things you can learn about how not to do things. This show, there was nothing you can learn about anything from this show. It's an awful show. And I don't recommend anybody watch it unless you want to watch this guy show you how he's fake and does not know how to assemble a gun. That's fake. Anyway. So, I don't know if anybody else watched this show. If you did, I'm sorry that you wasted your hour of your life on this show. Hopefully my review, which is 10 minutes long or less, will save you the hour. I've netted 50 minutes of your life. So, you owe me 50 minutes for saving you the other 50 minutes you would have spent watching this show. Don't watch it. It's a waste of that 50 minutes. You spent 10 minutes watching this video or talk about it sucking. You don't need to spend any more time on this show. It sucks. It's all the time you need to dedicate to this. So, anyway, if you got thoughts, post them. I'll respond as always. It's Western Kansas Prepper signing off.